you know what? It feels so much better now to play with a team that communicates, that really gives you the information. And even though they're a full French lineup, Vitality are doing their best to incorporate him. And imagine with that, even just a tiny bit of time, he's able to play so well with them and communicate really effectively with them. It's pretty darn impressive. We'll see Coastline and Consulate both locked away from this matchup.
No Coastline then, and no Cafe. So...
Bank.
Bank, all right. So I was just talking earlier about how I thought maybe some teams might be saving Bank for LAN. Neither of these two teams, it seems.
Man, Pro League is scripted.
Yeah. We need to mix it up a little bit. It's getting too predictable.
Yeah, tell the bosses up there.
Literally just in the roof.
I'm watching this. BK is watching. What do you guys think, though, about this matchup? Heavily into G2's favor,
I don't know if I'd agree with that.
Exactly.
I think it's a bit closer, honestly. Like, Vitality, while they haven't been closing out the wins necessarily all the time, they've been putting up a pretty good fight even when they lose. And G2, I don't know if I could even say the same for them. They've been really struggling. So maybe this will be the draw that I was thinking from earlier. And if I remember correctly, the only draw we've had so far was, in the EU that is, was from G2 versus Empire. So G2, the only team to even make a draw so far. So, you know, maybe.
Later on in the season, that'll definitely start weighing heavily on you, but teams like LFO, for example, have not yet played G2 or Empire. Those are the upcoming two matches for them at Playday number 6 and 7, as we said in the interview with Capel, and they're getting ready for those matchups. They're definitely, on paper, the most difficult games that they could have.
Yeah.
The online phase right now in this first half of the season. But Vitality at DreamHack Valencia were very impressive. They demolished Cloud9 twice. They played FaZe Clan, they lost them 2-1, but they're able to basically run away with things and exit their Group D later on. 7-3 victory for Vitality against FaZe on Border, 7-5 win for FaZe on Café Dostoyevsky, and a 7-0 for FaZe Clan on Consulate of all maps against Vitality.
Well, at least Vitality have had some more time to absorb Stiggy now and maybe get into a better position to be able to play against a team like G2. But at the same time, I got to imagine Chaz and Sue are working overtime to figure out what's going on with G2 and fix it in this current situation. So maybe we'll see a totally different G2 today. I can't imagine they're just going to be like, we're doing okay, and then just keep it with it. They're going to be working hard to fix what's going on. They have had struggles in the past where they felt like they were kind of on the edge of just not playing great anymore. And obviously, they struggled last season. Some of that was due to, admittedly, them saving strats in the first half. The second half, they still struggled in when they weren't. In theory, they could be doing a little bit of that this season, but they know better than to just do that the whole season this time, and they can't afford to just do that. Just make more strats, guys.
I wonder if Stiggy's change, or his addition to Vitality, will mean that Vitality kind of veer away from their usual play style of going slow.
They haven't actually. I got to say, we like to make the jokes about Vitality in their last-minute pushes, or last-second pushes, really. I don't think we've seen that as much as we would have expected this season, because that was something they were struggling with in Challenger League still. But it seems like they've graduated out of that and are playing a much better game now and not necessarily needing to do that. I mean, we made fun of them for it, but they were very successful at that.
Oh yeah, there's a reason why they were, as I explained 2 years ago, and it just seems that 2 years later I will keep saying the same thing. Vitality did not reinvent the wheel. They were just so good at executing every single time. Now we say the same for Empire. They don't reinvent the wheel. They're just really good at executing.
They also don't have to execute in the last 20 seconds. They're just good at executing all the way up to the actual proper point. Bank time, though. We'll see how these two teams do, and what the bans are going to be should be interesting. Especially Bank, which, you know, does see its fair amount of echo play when it's not banned, for example. But, you know, tends to be banned, especially Mira. It's the attackers that should be interesting. Well, we see, for example, a Jackal ban just to free up more roam, or maybe even a Gridlock or Nomad ban. There's the Jackal ban to start things out. From Vitality, they want to be able to roam a little bit more, I guess. But that means we could see some Dokkaebi. I got to imagine Vitality's also counting on G2 not wanting to play Lion. Capital, poor guy, getting a lot of bans these days, as he's very, very useful with the way the Firebolt works now.
First defense ban for G2, and we'll go for...
Oh, that's
hello.
an
Thank
choice.
You. Finally some change. I'm really interested in how this will shake things up. Vitality going for an Echo at the end would make a lot of sense.
I don't know, Mira's pretty high priority to ban. So the Echo probably... Well,
it's
all right.
Come on, it's Vitality.
That's true. It is one of their big weaknesses for those last-minute pushes, but still, Mira's very hard to deal with on a couple of these sites, really.
I mean, CEO now is going to be very interesting because you don't have Jaeger, but you also will now have Mira. So taking control of the meeting room and holding on to Janitor is going to be very cool to watch, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, Janitor is always pretty pivotal, but if you can defend it a lot better than with the Miras, yeah, that'll make a difference. Tellers to start off with from Vitality.
Yeah.
And Clash potentially as well. This is definitely a bit unusual of a start.
I think the Clash is kind of to bait things out. Maybe they'll 6-pick. Yeah, they will. So it makes sense. Usually when you bring the Clash, it kind of tells your opponents that, hey, we want to play either open area or CEO. Sometimes you can bring her and play downstairs in Tellers, or downstairs in the basement. Rarely does it show up on this site compared to all the others specifically. So just a bit of a heads up there.
Well,
we're looking at it.
Looks like we're seeing pretty much everyone on G2 playing the roles they're pretty much known for to an extent or been pretty good at. I mean, Goga and Thermite is pretty much tradition at this point. Pengu has played a lot of Habana. Uno, pretty good Sledge, and Kanto also very good Zofia. Fabian, generally the flex player of the team, can be on Thatcher. So this seems like what you'd kind of expect for G2 to play off their strengths. It's Vitality that'll be the interesting question mark here.
3 drones lost in the prep phase here for G2. So you only see the Thatcher and the Zofia having 2 drones left for them if they can recover a second. So again, one day we will have the ability to kind of show you what's going on, how many drones are available, and what's deployed, and what's still in the back pocket. But at least that's something we can keep track of, and we highly recommend that you keep track of it as well if you're watching from home, because it's definitely something that these teams will be keeping a tab on. Uno will come on down to B. You don't have to worry about much here, G2. Are they going to go for the rush? Kanto on site. Bride with a shotgun already in. He has to reload his shotgun, but he got 1 kill, and now a second. Qual has already gotten 1 as well with a T5. There's more utilities being shot down right onto the diffuser itself, and the cross. Uno is unable to find the kill on Bride, who somehow is still alive. Qual will find 1, and Pengu is all on its own now. The Habana will take damage from the Guma as she drops right into the welcoming hands of Qual, who finds 3 kills.
At least they made that.
What was that?
If there's one thing G2 are not good at, it's rush strats. Anytime they're just playing really badly, it generally is their rush strats. It's something they're just not good at. And we see that right there. Perfect demonstration. They lose all their drones,
so
they
telegraphed.
Space check it.
It was so telegraphed.
Yeah. I don't know. That was an odd round to come out from G2, I gotta say. That I don't like to use the word throw lightly, but that round felt like one in terms of the way that they played it just so carelessly. Vigil coming out from Bibu should be interesting here. Again, using the Clash to kind of cover a 6th pick, but from a different player this time. I like how they're just kind of using those to cover changes. They are going to be playing with a castle down here in basement, something you don't see super often. Sometimes used to kind of help with some roam play upstairs, sometimes just to slow some things down. They've, of course, got the Ella as well, probably to be playing the stairs from Qual. It's going to be setting up, looks like, I got to imagine some of his little sticky ice cream cones there to slow things down a little bit, help himself out.
It's ice cream cones.
Right? Delicious. Sticky, oh, there we go. That's one of the setups we do see for it, is putting, to kind of cut off the hallway from the main lobby. Helps be able to play a little bit more flexibly on that roam. Also slows them down a bit in terms of how they actually push in towards that stairwell, the master stairs.
That's so many reinforcements put up on the top floor, and of course that will affect Vitality's defense on the basement, but that's not really what they're going for. They want to put a lot of pressure and at least burn away a lot of time. See, there's a lot of specific hatches that are opened up for rotations and drop downs back onto the basement, and because there's a lot of reinforcements that cover your traditional rotations for attackers either to shut down the defenders that are going back onto the basement or using them for their own later in the route, it really at least wastes a lot of time here for G2. Oh, Stiggy getting close here to this engagement against Pengu in the Skylight. He's in trading Skylight.
He almost lost his head too. That was a very close headshot.
He's going to go back to the drone, and Uno will drone out CEO. There should be one player here, but not sure if they spotted him yet. I'll just walk in, and there you go. That's the spot. That's the drop now. into the reinforced position downstairs, the castle barricade as well. And now you can still walk into Archive and play from down there, which is exactly what Vitality were doing. Excellent room.
Well, G2 definitely taking that top flight control very quickly. They just need to turn this into some kills. We're rarely seeing G2 even like quick on the shots, but Pengu does manage to take down Stiggy, finally getting revenge, but Uno drops in the meantime. Can't quite finish him off with that impact like he was hoping to, but still is going to be difficult to pick him back up without Fabian to do this.
Fortunately, shooting the drone there gave Bibu's position away. And Uno is dropped on the floor, but he wasn't finished off. You're wasting a lot of time, sure, but you still need the players for later on in the round. The Ella is close up, and Brede is watching for any walk-ins from the garage, but there's none to be found so far. And he has a reinforcement left for the end of the round, and you'll see him just blocking off 1 point of entry. Qual will find one on Kenta Rocchetti. Still, Uno close by. See the SMG-11 firing off a few shots. Squall will reload. But it's basically a dead man in this position. Jmot mine thrown up, and it will get triggered. Fabian will walk on up. Does he spot the Ella? No, he's going to get spotted in return. Qual will fire away, but the Scorpion Evo is a bit too difficult to control. Fabian will find the headshot on Qual to go down.
That was an odd play to be playing that far off the top of server stairs. Unfortunately, a not worthwhile sacrifice because he didn't land the shots on the Fabian. Had he got the kill, that might have helped, but still not really worth it in the end. They're going to be able to get Goga to open this wall here in just a second, and it's all down to Spark to try and hold things off with a little bit of fire from Alda.
Unfortunate that Spark pre-fire is there, and Bride is away from the garage here, so he can't really play against anybody dropping in. Oh no, they line up! Bride finds one, that's his teammate. Spark with one on Uno, lives in a 1v3. And G2 will be given a lot of time to fall back and set up for this defense. Goga should be opening up the hatch as well. I'm not sure it was opened up even from before. A lot of damage done to Bride here as it continues on, but nobody's speaking from G2. They might as well secure this round for themselves. See the Thermite peeking around the corner, but it's all to push Bride closer and closer to his demise. Pengu flicks around the server, finds the kill. Bride to go down, and G2 secure the round. Vitality, a valiant effort on this roam, but unfortunately not carried out too well, as Fabian was very effective.
Yeah, that was like almost like the mirror image of the first round in terms of just Vitality making a huge amount of mistakes instead of G2. Pengu with the early kill as well, definitely helping, and then like you said, Fabian following that up very effectively, definitely helped out. And just misplays again. Why have the Ella just all the way at the top of the stairs? You're not going to be able to get back to your position at that point. Yeah, you can, I guess, try and deny them the ability to enter the server stairs from above, but there's nowhere to go in that position that you're not going to be easily taken out, especially when they have top floor control. Goga actually going to switch off of the Thermite onto a Dokkaebi, an interesting choice here for CEO. I mean, they are running the redundant hard breacher, they are running Pengu on Habana, so it's not strictly necessary. I got to imagine they think it could be this bomb site, though, although they could play CCTV downstairs again. But Vitality are pretty predictable in that they almost always switch bomb sites, win or loss. That's their MO. So G2 have got to know that. And
their modus operandi.
Yes. It's the way they do it. I mean, Vitality have certain things they're known for that they stick to, and sometimes they work, sometimes they don't.
What I like about Stiggy's positioning there, the black eyes, a lot of people forget that there's a lot of these Maestro tricks with the Evil Eye that get placed really close to bits of the map where nobody's going to be looking for them, but you can snipe out thermite charges as they go off on there, which is hilarious to see.
Yeah.
Because who's going to look down?
Well, that's the first thing you were checking for as soon as Maestro came out, right? It's like, what are some angles where I could set this to snipe off thermite charges? And that kind of died out a little bit, but like for example, the clubhouse drone hole was a fun one because you have like infinite range with that thing. So
yeah, I remember in playtesting where it just killed people so fast.
You could even shoot people in spawn with it. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, it was pretty hilarious actually. That Pengu will rappel up, and see there was a bulletproof camera that had been preset by Vitality right on hallway here.
Typical banana placement that actually Kanto was usually the one to do originally.
Definitely one of the players that was running it for an excellent amount of work and really working out pretty well for him in his matchups. Screw top being thrown in here, and I'm not too... Ah, there we go, there we go. I did not see that, but an extra EMP will get thrown in the back as well to disable more utility. As bit by bit, G2 will gain ground. It's just they're not really taking control of the windows. Pango gets a lot of damage done to him, but he'll fall back.
I mean, I like what he was trying to do on that rappel, but it is pretty unsafe to be just hanging out there for long periods of time. However, he gets away with his life. That's the important thing. Minute 30, though, left, and no damage done, really, to anyone on the defense. However, a lot of utility destroyed. The bulletproof camera, the evil eye, they're getting in positions. They have a sledge as well as a Sophia, or even the Habana to open up those castle barricades. Those shouldn't be a problem. In fact, G2 actually going to use those to advantage right now because that gives them the ability to start positioning uncontested, and there goes the Maestro as well. This has looked like a very G2 round potentially, as they have a minute left to work with. All they've got to do now is make sure they don't get heavily flanked, and they can start setting up for the play. Now, they don't have a thermite to open up that back wall, so it's going to be a lot of pressure from this side, coming in from Banana mostly. And like I said, using those castle barricades to control where Vitality can also fight back from, unless they go for the old impact and then jump out sort of thing. Fabian looking to get control of Janitor in the meantime as well, trying to find an angle. Just, you see the cautious, careful approach from G2 paying off completely as Fabian picks up another one, and it's all down to 2 left with Goga getting another.
Yeah, it leaves Stiggy and Spark on their own, and Vitality were kind of preparing themselves for the usual impact out and destroy any utility, but Stiggy will move in. Counter Rocketti for the last on Stiggy, and a flawless round from G2 as they're coming around the back. Vitality have no answer against this. Try to throw a few bodies early on in the round, but unfortunately...
No. This is more the G2 we're expecting. This is the G2 we used to see, but didn't see that first round.
I think it was also Vitality just not being prepared for it at all. What they had was, yeah, let's play the dock around Banana, but that really went nowhere.
No, I mean, the way that Kanto would play it, for example, is he'd play more by elevator. Play top of stairs, things like that. I mean, that's fallen off a little bit. It's not as popular as it was when he was first doing it, but still, nonetheless, when Capitão's banned, it's a lot easier to get away with that. We'll see that they're going to bring a pulse this time. Oh, they're going to 6-pick off it, go back down to CCTV, rather than go to tellers, which they could go back to, and was their one successful site. So it's surprising they're not going to go for that play. So they're going to go downstairs and hope to play a little bit smarter this time, maybe not give up as many picks. But they are again going to go with the castle strat for this and try and defend upstairs. And that was some of their mistake, though. A lot of times, you know, you're going to commit downstairs to this and play it very heavy, and it's like, okay, playing roam strat wasn't working out. Yes, you specifically counterbanned Jackal to allow yourself to roam better upstairs, but at the same time, Mira is freed up now. You can play a much better turtle defense downstairs with Mira available than you, especially with Capitão banned, yet you're not taking advantage of that. That seems like an odd choice to me from Vitality, and it didn't work last time. Maybe, who knows, maybe it'll work this time if they play a bit more successfully in that middle floor, but again, it seems like, I don't know, not the best use of the available operators given the bans. It's interesting to note, of course, that with Jaeger banned by G2, they are getting a bit more utility out of some of their, I was going to say grenades, but also the lifelines as well. And then even the EMPs don't have to worry about getting snagged out of the air. So it's, I mean, it's somewhat helpful that they're able to fully utilize a lot more of the utility without having to worry about and clear out some of the stuff, so they can, you know, just focus their EMPs and things like that on clearing out evil eyes and whatnot. But I don't know if the Jaeger ban was like the most impactful thing on Earth, but G2 certainly seemed to be using it.
It's not really, because you don't have those ADSs, of course, you're not really able to catch anything off, but I haven't seen much in the way of grenade plays so far. Fabian moves in, but, oh no, he's there! You saw that.
We'll see. And
the shadows!
Gets away with it.
He lurks in the shadows. Not sure if there was an opening there to drop from it, and it seems like there was. So Bibu has dropped on and put himself in yet another position where he can drop off from. You see the hatch has been opened up. Uno. Destroy the top of the floor here in the meeting room, and somebody spotted downstairs in the archives just yet. Fabian trying to pinch in from the opposite end, but we'll have to worry about the beepers here. Vitality attempting this defense again as Uno continues to drone on down. He hasn't spotted anyone. There you go. That's one, but Qual's already gotten the kill on Goga. One of your two hard breachers, sure. But there's still the Habana available. Fabian will move in.
That's an important one for the play, though. Pengu's really going to have to play it smart with the Hibana to get away with it. Ooh.
Oh, perfect. Ah, Qual. The double kill using his ice cream cones to his advantage. Stiggy with one more onto Uno as he takes a lot of damage from Cantor, but he can't even walk in from that hole. Is too small of a rotation hole that was set up. Cantor watching around as Pengu will try to rejoin him. Stiggy is out and detected, and he's really just giving himself away at this point in time. Yeah, it's just wasting time. This is wasting time. Spark finds the kill. Beautiful 300 IQ play from Stiggy. As he goes back in, he fires as he finds the shot on Cantor. Flawless from Vitality. Stiggy just stayed outside. They have to at least acknowledge his existence.
Yeah, they can't just leave him alive, especially without, you know, the other hard breacher to be able to start opening things up while you cover. It's just, in a 1v5, you're certainly not going to allow anyone to just come in from behind you. You can't afford to. That was definitely much better since from Vitality since the last 2 rounds, because it seemed like G2 were just kind of lost at that point.
Yeah, it was really odd to look at. There were drones available, but there was no follow-up. And Fabian tried to follow up on the Ela as he turned around to go for the 1v1. Fortunately, the L85 is kind of not the greatest weapon to face off against an Ela, but then you also had a Gizmot. Everything was preset perfectly in that position to make sure that you're not really able to get out of it alive, and well done by Qual in that position. The fact that he realized that was the diffuser being dropped and he stayed there, works well. And he's at 6-2 scoreline. It's pretty good.
Only one even catching up to him is Fabian at 5 and Uno at 0.
He's got a lot of points, though.
Yeah, he's racking up the points, doing some work. Unfortunately, it's not leading to kills. 3 assists, though, so he's certainly softening them up for Fabian. Now, one change they are going to go with is the Dokkaebi here now for this Teller's attack. No Thermite. Again, just like they did for the push onto CEO. I'm not sure if that's really going to be the play necessarily in terms of really getting a whole lot accomplished. I don't know. I'm not seeing G2 being super effective on controlling these roamers regardless, outside of the first time they attacked CCTV.
Again, G2 trying to go for control of the top floor, CEO. That's what you're usually going to be doing in this.
A lot of repels, though, between Pengu and Kanto trying to look for freebies. Not quite happening.
Reloading.
And Kanto opening up an extra hole here to watch the hallway, but Pengu still has no info. Anybody downstairs? There we go. Say it perfect. Bibu eliminated an Uno with a grenade on his Stiggy. Team showing up here, and G2 find 2 kills in under a minute in the round. Big advantage here for a mixed European squad.
Well, it is still an advantage, but Vitality could bring this back. However, top floor control being thrown. Oh, Uno, unfortunately, just barely missing that kill onto Spark. Could come back to bite him as he's able to rotate freely down. Phone call's coming out now, trying to at least put pressure on the roamers to be able to take this top floor control and start to use it to downward pressure. They have plenty of utility to open up the floor. There's some phones laying around as well if Goga wants to get over to those and hack them, take control of the cameras. That, well, he just shot one out, but obviously you don't want to offer them up the cameras as well. Claymores as well in Fabian's pocket to be able to help set up for some flank control. So plenty they could do with, and they have a lot of time left, a minute 10 or so. Let's be able to do some work with this and open up the floor. But in the meantime, Qual, unfortunately, his sneaky plays completely caught by some good droning from G2. He's forced out too, so between him and Spark, they keep getting forced back. And now G2 have all the time they need to set up for an execute. I imagine going to come down in the next 30 seconds or so, especially now that Brigade taking a lot of damage.
Oh, Uno, though, still alive, but as you say, Brigade, the smoke might just be downed soon. Still has utility available to use if need be. Goga's checking around the cameras. I'm not sure he's able to hack one of those cameras to give him info, and here we go. Bride eliminated as he has his eyes and his focus more turned towards the top. Spark will find 1 kill as 1 drops, and Qual another one on Cantor. Is this round about to turn around? Pengu entering into the archives, firing in, but Spark, the flick to the head onto Fabian. Uno from above will find one kill. That's him eliminated. Can you find the Valk? Yes, he can. Leaves Qual alive. He comes in. Pengu with the bearing 9. Find the kill and Qual to go down. Vitality lose out on this defense. G2, again, their entry, so good.
That got close to Vitality actually being able to take it back because they just, again, were not able to really fully control the roamers from Vitality. That seems to be their one strength on this map, and of course that is, again, why they banned Jackal, but at the same time, they just were not able to retake that top floor, partially due to the Legion getting droned out at one point as he was trying to approach again. I think had he been able to get to the top floor and catch him on a good flank, that round might have gone very differently. Vitality teasing the cap can. Can't imagine they're going to stick to that, but you never know. They're going to be going back to CEO. Lost it last time for their second attempt here. So far, all they've won is CCTV and Tellers once. Goga bringing out the Lion. I'm sure Fabian loves that they're actually going to do that. And it's interesting to see Goga always starting with the Thermite, but occasionally six-picking over to Dokkaebi or Lion for roam clear. It's like, well, they saw the Jackals ban, so he's kind of playing this flex role now and actually leaving a lot of the hard breach on Pengu. Again, last time that they went to attack CEO, they didn't have the Thermite as well. I believe Goga had six-picked over to Dokkaebi, if I remember correctly, that round. But now he's going to be the Lion. So again, they're trying to control the roamers, but it's odd to me that in their attempts to control the roamers, they're not bringing a Nomad or a Gridlock. Instead, they're just focusing on ones that try and stop some of their movement or make it more transparent when they move, rather than completely cutting areas off. But to be fair, this is a map that sometimes the choke points can be a little bit harder to pull off.
Because you have a lot of these hatches that can be used.
A lot of like ledges you could jump over.
Yeah. It just suddenly diminishes the power of an operator like Gridlock.
You can slow them to an extent rotating up. It's rotating down there's plenty of flexibility for, though.
And in this case, you only have a couple staircases, really, that you have to worry about if you're a G2, but it's not like those are really being used by Vitality. You see the way that they're defending.
They tried last round.
But you see how they're defending the basement.
Yeah.
It's not like they're even holding on to the site itself or peeling off of it. They're putting 3 bodies on top to try to fight against G2. Sure, it hasn't really been working out, but it's still not something that Gridlock is too good at dealing with. But Uno will bring the buck here, so change away from the sludge.
I mean, you know, it's kind of similar operators, so not
Just prettier.
Yeah. We'll see though if he's able to get, you know, some more grenade kills either way. It's been useful with that. Like I said, without the Jaeger there, it's something you can do a bit more work with. They're not bringing anyone else with extra grenades, but Kanto doing work on a Stiggy early. Stiggy actually has been a big player, and the nice run-out attempt from him completely stopped. I mean, that was a smart idea, but it seems like Kanto is prepared for it. Fabian and Pengu, though, getting one of their own each, and the EE1D comes out to stop any trades.
Oh, it's a perfect E1D here. As you say, no trades will be possible whilst it's active unless you want to really reveal where you're at, which is definitely not what Vitality are looking to do here. They pull back, try to play from all the way the other end of the site. You see the castle shuffling very closely. It's also been detected by a drone. You don't only want to use the E1Ds, you want to use them in conjunction with drones, and you have the extra manpower to do so. Fabian will find one, leaving Spark only alive. He'll fire on through, he'll find one through the wall. Well done at the Janitor. Impact grenade onto the edge. The E1D is already out, and Kanto Rocchetti dives on in to collect the last one. G2 end up taking round number 6, having a big advantage here to go into the second half on their defensive side.
Yeah, pretty good start. It's still been a bit rough for G2. They have had rounds where it just looks like they're completely lost or don't really know what they're doing. I imagine they do, but that's what it looks like. And then they have rounds where Vitality kind of looks the same way. It seems like both these teams really having trouble kind of reading what's going on a lot of the time.
You know, the entry plays from Kanto Rocchetti have been definitely very impressive. Fabian and Kanto,
intro fragger.
They've been hitting those shots and getting the entries that they require. And once you have those, sure, yeah, you eliminate 2 players, then 3 players maybe, and the round is pretty much won. It's completely wide open unless Vitality have a lucky bout.
Here's what I like. So they had the Mute and the Mozzie teased on here. First off, they're going to open area, which is already odd in itself. But they tease the Mute and the Mozzie, and that's going to stop Vitality from maybe over-droning. But then they switch to the Mira. So if that stops Vitality from droning early, they're going to be a lot less prepared for those Miras coming in. Because they're going to be thinking, oh, there's Mute Jammers and there's Mozzie. We can't heavily drone it. Let's get our drones in good entry positions and not really drone heavily for sight. And it also might take them longer to realize that open area is the site. So it's just little bits of mind play that may or may not have been intentional that I think, work against Vitality here that are interesting coming out from G2. They are going to have the castle, which is so essential for defending this particular site. Open, just such a rarity to win. But we'll see if G2 are maybe going to pioneer something new that will work here against Vitality. I mean, obviously you don't try this site as your first site unless you've got some ideas. Doesn't necessarily mean they always work, but it's probably something they tried in scrims and it seemed like it was a good idea to, you know, in your first round when you've got that extra 2 rounds to play with an advantage on the switch, might as well give it a shot, see if it'll work. I mean, if it does, I doubt we'll just see it again all of a sudden in Raleigh or something, but nonetheless, it's still a good experiment.
One day we can hope.
Yeah, well, rather than 6th pick from the Thermite to the Dokkaebi, they're actually going to have a Dokkaebi alongside the 2 hard breachers, so bit of a different play here coming out from Vitality. The difference, though, is they're not bringing grenades despite the Jaeger ban. And that seems like maybe a little bit of wasted opportunity.
It's possible they weren't really planning for it, but again, if Qual has been doing so much work on the Ella before, it seems like the Dokkaebi makes a lot of sense for him. Bibi will drone out the Maestro here as Kenta Roketi will continue to stay on this floor to support Pengu and Uno. There's a lot of pressure being put up here by G2. Qual, though, he enters with a Mark 14 and he taps Kenta Roketi in the head. It's a great entry here for Vitality.
Yeah, on the entry fragger generally. Kanto playing an aggressive Maestro. Just aggressive Maestros in general we see often backfire on teams.
Goga will connect with Nitro Cells. Uno will find another one, but Bibu with a refrag. It's a 3v3 as Fabian ready to use his Nitro Cell. He'll move up. Pengu a headshot onto Bibu, cleaning him up. He reloads and stands behind that big old leather sofa. Finally see Stigi opening up an extra hole. The 2 hard breachers, the last 2 alive for Vitality. An extra angle is being opened up the back, but guess what? G2 are already away. They spread the butter.
Yeah, they certainly have made their escape now. Left Stiggy a little bit wondering. I gotta imagine Brede doing the droning here is gonna have to try and figure out what's going on quick because all that utility upstairs committed, they're still worried about. I mean, there was so much committed to that top floor, then to just peel away from it with a minute left. Looks like it was throwing them off for a minute, but it does look like they've realized they have a little bit more free room to move. Again, they were likely unprepared for an open area defense like this, and now the Mira left alive still to deal with as well. That's going to be problematic. Fabian maybe playing a little bit too risky, but I don't think he's going to be punished for it.
No, not anytime soon, but there's 38 seconds left, and I'm not sure if Brede and Stigi have any utility or any drones to use in this situation. Stigi has said that he absolutely loves Habana as an operator, which allows him to be so flexible throughout the round. We'll see if it can turn that into kills. That's what Vitality are looking for here. There's not much time left. Again, it's of the essence, and on the walk-in, Pengu will find Stigi. He dives on in from above, shotgun in hand, and Amira holding from the opposite end. Bride is on his own. He's going to get fired upon. Nobody from G2 pushing him as we speak. And G2 will take the round off of pure points, pure time.
Smartly just pre-firing, taking peeks a little bit, just enough to stop him from being able to make any kind of serious play. And that's all you had to do at that point. It was well played. The peeling off was smart, though, from the top floor.
Yes.
They committed a lot of resources to it, but because they had the man advantage at that point, they were able to actually use the time to their advantage to reposition, getting good spots. There was just so little that you could see come out from Vitality, especially when it was just a 1v3, I believe it was. It did hurt a little bit losing Kanto early, but at the end of the day, it didn't make a huge difference. And again, Gogo with the 6th pick. The Mozzie is going to stay, though, from Fabian, so they're not going to 6th pick off that this time. Instead, going to sneak the Mira in again, but this time from Goga instead of Pengu, and they will be playing down in the basement again. I was saying before, like, why aren't Vitality using the Mira downstairs? Obviously, G2, knowing that they were going to ban out the Jaeger instead of the Mira, knew that it was a possibility they could be playing it down here. As they got to know, Vitality are very keen on banning the Echo, so you got to imagine this was planned for, to be able to play this defense down here like this. And Fabian might be going to with the old Mozzie roam, where you set up the drone, similar to like a mute roam, where you kind of set up the mute jammers to kind of help protect yourself. You can do something similar with the pests, but maybe not. Looks like he's actually kind of heading back downstairs instead in the meantime. Could go for a late roam, though. Hasn't set up any of those pests just yet, as there's still reinforcements for him to put up. Got to get that job done first.
It's been odd that just now we get to see the Mossy being brought up. But it just looks like G2 will hold on to the bottom floor as they usually do, right? You bring the Pulse, you bring the Mozzie, you deny all that information. What's odd is that you don't have the mute in this case.
Yeah, I mean, in general, Mozzie's a little more effective than mute, with the exception of that you get one more mute
The combo, though.
Oh, absolutely. Looks like they really want to hold Garage, though. And maybe they're anticipating that they're going to go for a push on Garage. Obviously, they were considering it. You saw Bibu right there. But they thought wiser of it. Said Qual going to be trying to at least take this top floor control and hold on main stairs in the meantime.
No opportunity being given just yet. 2 logic bombs, of course, still available for the Dokkaebi, but there's no room for roaming in this round here for G2. Looking to close things out here, at least guarantee a singular point for them at the end of this play day. We would have had a pretty fast play day if that's the case. I mean,
still might have a
actually
here. I mean, it's definitely slowed down and almost a minute and a half left. So, I mean, Vitality are doing a good job taking control of the top 2 floors, getting set up here. They have the hard breaching. They have the utility to be able to open things up. They're not in a bad position at all. They just need to actually execute correctly. And Vitality, you know, again, are a team that are known for executing quickly when the chips are down, but G2 know that. They're going to be playing that to their advantage. With the mark out of the evil eye there, they're going to have to bring over Bibu probably to take that out, or they could go with Spark trying to Thatcher it, but I don't think you're going to be able to hit it from any angle up there to be able to actually take it out with that. So we'll see what he can try and do from up there. In the meantime, though, Kanto does fall again.
Kanto on the smoke, which is a pretty odd thing to say, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, doesn't matter this round, I suppose.
We still have Nitro Cell in the hands of Goga as the wall will be opened up, and Pengu is, of course, looking through things with his Pulse. Dokkaebi calls are not really as effective as they were before because of the auto hang-up, which is a blessing, to be honest. But there's only one side of the wall that has been opened up, so there's no real way to deal with Goga in this situation except for running into him. Oh, Stiggy, what an angle being held up by him, as Spark will find Uno. Great bit of play here to eliminate the Maestro. And that's outside angle being eliminated. People will walk in unimpeded into the garage, but they line up. Pengu finds one. Drops a second two. Bibu eliminate him. Fabian coming in from above. Is looking to deny the diffuser plant, and he will be. 12 seconds left in the round. Fabian watching for the singular angle that he'll have to deal with. Eventually from behind, he takes down Stiggy all on his own against the last here. There's Bibu and Spark to go for the plant on the opposite end of the site, but Bibu turning around again. He finds the 2 highest impact frags of the round. There's a reason why. This player is among the highest decorated in all of France.
So decorated. So G2 looked like they had a good start. Losing Kanto definitely wasn't, the biggest part of the loss there, but it definitely hurt. They were unable to deny a lot of the push time-wise because of the lack of smoke and had to go with C4s instead. They had the utility to make it work, and Fabian had a good flank, but they eventually gave up on the garage. You saw earlier Fabian spending forever helping defend the garage. He had to rotate off to try and play some different positions. But in doing so, Bibu came at just the right time, like you said, unimpeded into the garage and just completely shut down a lot of that defense working. It didn't help as well that Goga was getting hit just a little bit from those odd angles from the hatch. So overall, just well picked apart by Vitality in, well, what they do best, which is those last-minute executions. We'll see a 6th pick off of the Mozzie again, and this time it is going to be to the mute from Uno. That will be helpful, though, in trying to deny them from opening the wall at least a little bit, although, the Thatcher will make short work of the mute jammers. The mute will also deny a little bit in terms of the phone calls coming out. I can't imagine that being a big impact, but it is a small thing that will help out a little bit with G2. I wonder how much we'll see Fabian on the roam this time now that he's playing Maestro, though. I can imagine he should be playing a bit more towards side. As I said, roaming over-aggressive Maestros tend to be not so great. It is definitely an operator that really shines on Anchor.
Yeah, especially here. I mean, we've seen the 1 pixel angle from the garage, the one that has a hole opened up for it here.
Yeah.
Do so much work. And
mirror window already.
that was popped on purpose.
Yeah, it had to have been.
I mean, there's no way around it, right? Unless they're teleporting in.
Is Pengu just practicing at this point? Because I don't think there's anyone down there.
It's a cha-cha. But he's doing it on his own. I think Pengu would be a pretty great dancer.
hopefully.
Yeah. Imagine dancing around with him. It's like, oh, hold me closer, tiny dancer.
I do imagine that often.
Very often. Who doesn't, chat? Dude,
All right, well.
he's mine. What? Sorry, Riley.
They are taking control of the top 2 floors fairly quickly. This is the first minute in, and they actually have control of both for the most part. So this is a much, much swifter attack than we saw last round. So that's good for Vitality. Last time they were able to find that early pick. Fabian again with the garage play, but this time the different and I'd say better operator for it. So last time he went on that Mozzie roam late. I gotta wonder though if we'll see any late roam from G2 at all this time, or if they're gonna stick a bit more to site. Trying to stop and execute. Enemy detected outside makes me wonder, was that Pengu or Fabian going for a run out from garage? Hard to say. They are definitely concerned about flanks. You see the drone on the stairs, for example, trying to hold that. They're also concerned about taking the main or the server stairs right there, in addition to the main stairs.
Question is, how long will G2 have control of their entry into the garage, and the Habana is being forced to open up the wall? This is not great.
No, this is definitely not ideal.
Bob Ross wouldn't. Well, he would always be happy with whatever you bring him, but
yeah,
that's.
I suppose that works in the end.
Does the Thermite have anything?
I mean, maybe he went for hatches for some reason.
Can we
say? Yeah.
Yeah. Why?
Oh, all right. Well,
Why?
decision's been made. It's too late to change that now. But damage mostly on the Vitality side as I say that. Well, good thing he'd already used his charges. Skull gates him with the C4. Stiggy, the one to go for the plant, though, potentially, but Spark takes down Fabian in the meantime.
Nitro Cell being prepped, and Pengu! Oh, he does not connect. A lot of damage has already been done to Stiggy, and that's the mute with the Nitro Cell in hand. The call will come out, and it will not connect. Unfortunate. So Kanto Raketti chucking a smoke in the back as Bibu and Pengu will go for a kill each. Kanto with a QE peek, but Bibu from above. He'll find one and close to finding the third as well. Pengu will find singular kill here. At least the Habana was able to go for the plan of Stiggy. But how do you deal with Bibu here? You have to be really coordinated against him and try and stick that diffuser as information's being relayed in by Pengu on his pulse. But it's not like Bibu will peek you anytime soon. He's going to play this until the end. Goga will just hold on to it. Spark will be eliminated. Will Pengu find the second? No! Bibu with a 2K! He eliminates the last two in the round. I believe that was a 4K for Bibu at the end of this one. Look at that. Just hold on.
It's 2 rounds in a row that Bibu pretty much made defending the basement impossible.
Yeah. Just too good.
If they killed him earlier, you know, that maybe it's a round they could win, but jeez, seems to be a big problem. Okay, I thought they were going to go back to open. They're going to go to CEO. But it's interesting to see how much Bibu's flanks made such a huge difference in both those attacks. I mean, it was definitely a much better attempt there from G2 in terms of trying to hold it off and go for the diffuse, but just the missed shot onto Bibu fortunately cost him. I like the other hatch attempt, though. They had to eventually bait out a potential attack, and just Bibu was the better for it. See if they're going to 6th pick anything. G2? Nope. They're not for once. They were teasing a lot of Mozzie and 6th picking off it and whatnot before, but this time they're just going straight for... They're going for it, and I think this is the first Bandit. Maybe even... I almost feel like that we've even seen today, practically. I'm sure it probably isn't, but we just haven't seen a whole lot of Bandit today.
No.
They're going to be running that, so they're going to try and stop this wall from getting open. No mute, but it's entirely on the Bandit then to use all 4 batteries.
No Clyde either.
True, true. He has not been banned, so. I think we saw one earlier. I remember seeing one.
That was in our first
one
game.
of close line matches, yeah.
It was our first game of the day when
Wasn't usually impactful.
LFO Navi, yeah, and in general, things. It was for Navi, they brought him out, and then he got the 2 kills that saved them the second round that they had on the board. But then the round right after, it didn't really matter, as LFO just kind of stormed in with their Twitch and deleted everything with the F2.
Poor picture of that guy getting replaced with an evil eye.
What is his name? Have you ever thought about it?
I assume it's like the guy from Monopoly, Mr. Moneybags or whatever.
Is that a family name?
Yeah.
What would his, like, would it be like Bob or... Yeah,
Bob Moneybags?
Bob is just short for Bobbert. Just like Rob is short for Robert.
Oh, is that how it works?
Yeah.
I was so confused.
Chat, can you please validate me?
Yeah, this.
That's what I look for every day.
Yeah, I was like, I feel like you said that a lot.
Please. I need it. if you want to feel accepted.
All of your self-esteem completely.
Yes, that's exactly how it works. Oh my god, imagine that.
Spam this ganache to Howard Milosh.
What's ganache?
I don't know. It's like isn't it like that chocolate?
No, there's gnocchi, the like potato pasta type thing.
No, I'm not talking about that at all.
No, I don't know what it is.
Good kill by Uno though onto the sledge. Not sure how many grenades he was able to use, if any. Those are off the board now, which are important because of the lack of Jaeger, and Vitality hadn't really been exploiting that before, so not going to be able to this round either.
Oh, Kanto Raketti so close to taking Bibo away here. Lasofia, Bibo will be alive, and yes, you are correct. It's ganache chocolate. So
okay, cool.
That's usually on a cake. I don't know if it coming, but yes, you were correct. And chocolate.
All right, we'll get one for today.
All right. Spark on the rappel, though, as it is watching out for any potential walkouts from the tellers, but there's nobody coming out just yet. Stiggy's holding on to the hallway, and it's a pretty good position here if you're the Habana, because you lock down quite a massive avenue away from the defenders that could be used. Against you, and deployable shield being run on the Valkyrie, oddly enough.
Yeah, that's an odd choice. I mean, you saw how powerful C4 are pretty much every match. So they got to imagine that deployable shield's got to be important then for the play. Well, I'm not even sure where it's positioned at this point. So no ADSs to catch those lifelines, but that just was not really useful. Pengu in a position where I can't imagine they know he's there just yet. I mean, maybe they could see him from an angle in that window. He might even be able to see them first, depending on who peeks that. He is going to get stunned a little bit, but Goga the one to go for a peek, and Pengu does get spotted and taken out.
Good shot here, but it's again the castle at 30 seconds. Bibu, another one on the Fabian. The man is just on fire. As Goga turns around, he's got control of the hallway, but Stiggy's far away here. He can't really deal with him. From this point, Bride with one more and Stiggy on the Goga, leaving Kanto on his own in Janitor. Looking dire for G2, and Kanto is not going to be alive for long. The reverse repel really locks Kanto Raketti down into Janitor, and Spark with the last kill. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to let you in on a bit of a secret. This is Europe here. So what happens is there's a motto for EU. When in doubt, reverse repel peak.
I don't find that very catchy.
Reverse repel.
Nah, just
reverse repel. When in doubt, reverse repel.
Okay,
it's pretty good.
Shorter. I'll give you that. So the opposite of Vitality, G2 will repeat sites when they're not able to succeed in them, rather than just rotating immediately. We have they're going to go open. Well, it's still a repeat of a site they did actually win, but 5-5 though right now, and we actually look like a potential tie could be coming in here. Something I'm saying could happen earlier. It's starting to look more possible because both these are able to win these rounds. Although so far 3 for Vitality, looking a little bit more in their favor for sure. Penguin Fabian doing some work, and Uno and Kanto just not really picking it up. Double digits there coming up from the other 2 players. I gotta say that's probably what's costing G2 a little bit. It's Kanto and Uno just not showing up with the amount of kills we would expect from them. Although to be fair, like Pengu actually a lot of times isn't necessarily fragging up there, but we know he's fully capable of it. He just always isn't in the right positions too. And Fabian though has actually often been a somewhat underrated fragger, but he's definitely showing up this round or this match. Just Vitality seems to be showing up a little bit better sometimes. I mean, there's definitely a lot of rounds where Vitality are looking very strong. G2 having rounds where they're looking very dominant as well, and it just seems to be whoever kind of gets that early edge in the round seems to make a big difference a lot of the times in this particular matchup. So we'll see how open area goes for them the second time.
Is it gonna be a tie again?
I think it's likely. Although I don't know. I mean, out of defenses so far, Vitality have won far more, so it could potentially be Vitality just winning. Although it's likely, I'd say maybe we go G2 this round, then Vitality, and then it's a tie. But I don't know, this is open area. This is the one site they've won on defense, but it's also a hard site to win on defense. So I don't know, I really could go either way with it.
Bring it into the back to eliminate a possible evil eye. Set on the hallway. Qual will watch for any walkouts. None of that just yet. Odo on the castle, sitting closely by the walk-in here, and oh man, Spark on the pre-fire in by the soft wall. between the two sides, and he won't find anybody. Qual, is that a softball that was set on the other side? Yes, they did not reinforce the whole thing. Odd. Pangu, though, will find the kill on Spark. Eliminate one, but Qual from behind. One's still on him, and Bibu, again, how is this man just let loose?
He's such a good Zofio player, though. That part doesn't surprise me.
Another one, but that's with the help of Bride. Cantor Ricchetti eliminated. The 4v2 with Fabian and Goga left alive. Vitality looking pretty good here to secure their 6th point. Stigi with one on Fabian. And Goga, I think at this point it's no CCC. Open area not really working out for G2 now.
Oh, here's the drone. They know where he's at now. Can't even finish off the drone. That's got to be frustrating at this point. That's one of those things that tends to tilt you a bit right into Bibu's bullets.
How many kills does Bibu have?
All of them, it seems. 12. Still not as many as Pangu, actually, but he is definitely the MVP of Vitality right now, making this happen and claiming the minimum 1 point for Vitality. So will we see the second draw of the season for EU again go to G2, or Vitality continue to keep the Titan in the bottom 4?
This is going to be huge. If you're a fan of LFO and Empire, you're looking at this game with this mindset. No matter how it goes, if Vitality win, it's bad for G2, and Vitality tie, it's bad for G2.
It's not great.
Na'Vi are actually getting closer and higher up. I assume that Na'Vi have no problem with a tie in this matchup, because now you have to start thinking about it. Is there a team that we'd like to kind of win, to support in this? If G2 goes down, that's great, but then if Vitality go up an extra 3 points.
I like how you're seeing that as almost like a strategic decision. Well, whichever team we support likely will win, so we've got to be careful about this.
Are you saying it doesn't work like that?
No, it definitely does. I'm just saying I like that.
Thank you. I mean, Na'Vi right now are in 3rd place. Of course, they lost their game today, so if Vitality win their matchup, it means they tie with Na'Vi in points. I'm looking at the head-to-head between the two. Na'Vi, Vitality have played, and it's Vitality's hand. So Vitality go up to 3rd place officially, with Na'Vi at 4th. Something to keep in mind for everybody back home, because this season we might have a 5-way.
Well, that would be interesting. But, I mean, we're only creeping up to the halfway point. We still have a whole other half.
It's very good. I have been corrected. Doki from Na'Vi has given me the exact wording for it. When in doubt, repel it out.
There we go. Thank you, Doki.
Thank you, Doki. Thank you. Thank you. Good lad. Oh! What?
Kanto again, the opening kill, or the opening death. So he had the highest opening kills, but now he's getting the highest opening deaths at this point.
Unlucky man.
Yeah, that was tragic at best. G2 looking like the tie might be even less possible. I mean, they've won rounds where they've lost Kanto at the beginning, but continuing to lose their top fragger early, it reminds me of those secret matches where they'd shut down Kanto early.
It's gotta hurt, man.
Yeah. And Pengu also at half health. That certainly doesn't help things.
No, it does not bode well for the reigning world champions. Vitality continue to drone away. There's a lot of time left, and of course, having eliminated the singular roamer, it will force G2 back, but the Valkyrie might be caught off. No, Pengu finds a kill on Qual. Still watching in from the main doorway. Vitality will not find the refrag, and G2 escape with at least one man alive. Oh, maybe for not long. Spark with the refrag on Pengu. Not only does he take away one player and a star player in the team, literally #1 right now on the board, but also, oh, is he gonna go for the run out? Yes! Udo eliminated by Bibu. They're just catching them off guard time and time again. The hatches are left unreinforced. All of this is being set by G2 to hold on to the top floor as much as possible. It's not going great, is it?
Nope. A minute left, though. G2 could use some repositioning, but Vitality have enough time to get whatever setup they want. And unfortunately, that doesn't even kill him. He could even pick himself back up if necessary. So that failing to get a kill really going to cost him. That even more so.
Goga, no Nitro Cell. He's got a Vector. He's got 4 players to deal with, and Bibu has been picked up. Frenchmen are definitely looking for this. A Spark. Go insta-tapped by Goga. No drop yet onto the site, but you'll hear A lot of drones walking around Goga to confirm his position. Can he find another? He's got info where his opponents are. Stiggy upstairs with Type 89 rattling in. Oh no, he dives right into him. Stiggy is down on the floor, but Bibu turns around and finds the kill on Goga yet again. The late round rotation. In the back, it's Bibu that just has control of this entire game for Vitality. GG, well played, a 7-5.
Well, that was the closest match we've had today. The other ones were definitely not as close, but wow. G2 just really not having a good season so far. Look at that, though. Some of those scores...
14 for Bibu, 6 for Stiggy.
10 for Spark, though. Spark was maybe not getting mentioned. Spark and Qual,
yes.
10 and 9, like definitely were showing up that time. Stiggy had his moments for sure as well, and just overall Vitality played that very well, and not looking good for G2.
And we say not looking good for G2 because
the bar was way up here, and now we're just coming down.
It's not like Vitality are not a great team, that's for sure. And I think they've definitely showed that they are throughout Pro League now, but also at the minor.
They'd have trouble closing it out, and now closing it out against G2, though, that looks pretty good for them.
Yep. Well, that brings Vitality up at the 3rd place for EU. They take that spot away from Na'Vi as they have defeated Na'Vi earlier on. That was in Playday number 2, 7-3 against them on Clubhouse. Though we have an interview ready. Let's have a quick chat with Spark. Bonsoir, Spark. How are you?
Really good, Gaston. Thank you.
Well, congratulations on victory against G2. One thing I have to say, what did Bibu have for dinner before he played this game?
I think we just ate... yeah, we ate eggs.
Eggs?
Really good.
The dinner of champions.
If you want to get kills in Rainbow Six, just eat eggs.
Well, Dark Zero have BC on the squad, but it definitely has not been helping too much. That aside, a great matchup for you guys. Though, I want to talk about a specific style of defense that you were employing. You were defending the basement, but putting a lot of manpower on CEO and then moving down into archives and then back down on the site. I know it didn't work out for you, but can you please walk us through your mindset behind preparing this style of defense against G2?
Well, we didn't play this defense especially against G2, but it's a kind of style that it's working against a lot of teams, and it's the best way to waste a lot of time, especially for bank, like this kind of map, bank or consulates. Like you play top floor and then you go at the first floor and then go back to basements, and it's so strong when you do it well.
It definitely worked out. I mean, it didn't really work out here, but we have seen it before, and against teams that are not as organized as G2 maybe, it works out fairly effectively. Now, Stiggy officially signed on to the team, I guess, after his performance at DreamHack Valencia.
Yeah.
He was talking to me on our flight back after DreamHack how happy he is to finally play with a team that communicates with him and gives him all this information and really goes the extra mile to speak with him in English and make sure that you can all play together as an efficient team. After your victory now against G2, is it really solidified? Is Stiggy really that X factor that you have been looking for?
At the beginning, we were looking for a pure entry fragger, but Stiggy was more than a support role. But we knew like he could play pretty much any operators, and he was really strong. So we tried out with him, and it went really well. So we decided to keep him up.
Now he's playing Habana. It's definitely an operator that he shines very well on and gives him that flex role, right? So it can be support, but also frag out, and he definitely had his moments in this matchup. But again, Spark, after your victory against G2, 7-5 on bank, anything you'd like to say to the Vitality fans out there?
I really want to say thank you for all the fans. Like, we've been through really bad moments in the last months, but I'm really happy we came back, and now let's try to take that spot for Japan.
Yeah, you're at 3rd place. It's definitely possible, and we'll see how things continue on as the EU qualifiers are still ongoing. There's still chances maybe to make it to Raleigh. Again, Spark, thank you very much for the interview.
Thank you, Gaston.
Bonsoir and bonne nuit.
Bonsoir.